the lat muscle. So if you go ahead and lie down on your side there, you're going to stick the foam roller right underneath of your armpit, okay? And we're going to spend about 30 seconds where we're going to maneuver up and down from the shoulder girdle all the way down the lat muscle, which rides into the spine here. So if you don't do this often, it can be particularly tender.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's feeling it just a little bit. Now, when you find a spot that is a little bit more, say, painful, or it's sending bad signals, just kind of hold it there and dig a little deeper. You can also maneuver your arm. So Chuck, while you hold a spot, just try to lift up your arm just a hair off the ground there, okay? And then right back down and relax. You can do windshield wipers in different motions to help with the tight fibers inside. Let's go ahead and get up just a little bit more onto your lat muscle here, Chuck. So once again, it goes from the shoulder all the way down. He can also tilt his body forward and back ever so lightly. So go ahead and try that out, where you go forward, nice and easy, come on back. There we go.
Oh, there's a spot.
There's a spot right there. And once again, when you find those tight muscle fibers, you want to try to release them, myofascial release. Okay, we'll get the other side later, but we're going to go ahead and move down to our hip joint right here. Basically, what I'd like Chuck to do is sit down onto the foam roller himself. So it's a little one, but we're going to focus on the left hip here. Now, if you can, Chuck, cross the left foot over top of the knee here, supporting your weight in the back, and you're just going to ride up and down onto that glute muscle. You're able to also position yourself where you're on just your right arm and grabbing your left knee and kind of hugging it to you if you're able to balance on the foam roller there. So grab your left knee and just kind of hug it to your chest a little, good, and see if you can ride up and down that muscle. There you go. Even the biggest Olympians need to have these foam rollings too. Yep, very good. Now we're going to shift it over to our hamstring, which now runs from your glute muscle all the way to the knee. One of your legs will be off of it. So if we stay on the left side specifically, okay, very good. Now you're going to push through your hips there. His foot is off of the ground. You can point your toe to you just a little bit more to activate the calf and the hamstring muscle. Your body is one system, so it goes all the way down from the heel, riding up to his spine here. So for about 30 seconds or so, Chuck is foam rolling from the knee all the way to the hip, engaging that hamstring muscle. You also want to internally rotate your foot just a little bit. So try to point that toe to, yep, right there. Awesome. Now, the IT band, this one's a little bit more tender. So Chuck is going to flip over to his side. We're going to ride the foam roller from the side of the hip joint, okay, all the way down to the knee. He's going to position himself with his leg, supporting himself on his elbow, and then attempt to ride himself up and down ever so lightly. Remember to take deep breaths while you're going through these motions. If you're able to foam roll every day, I would recommend it for at least 5 minutes. Try to hit all the major muscle groups. And it'll help alleviate a lot of stress and pain that you may be experiencing on a daily basis. Good. We're now going to just roll them down flat and do the quadricep now. So the quadricep runs from the hip joint on the front all the way down to the knee. Quadricep meaning 4 different muscles, so we want to attack a lot of them. One leg will be off of the foam roller, kind of guiding the body, but he is in a plank position and he is maneuvering himself back and forth, allowing a little bit of pressure inside of his quadricep there. I like to think of the muscles to want to stretch and release, and if they're all clumped up in this manner, you try to break it and add compression so that the lengthening process can happen a little easier. And now also you want to get to your hip flexor there, Chuck. So right now he's getting the bottom of his quad, so he's going to roll himself back just a little bit more and get real deep inside the hip flexor, which is kind of in the front of the pelvis. Okay, he's continuing to breathe. He's applying a little bit of pressure into the foam roller there, and he's finding little clunky spots in his muscle fibers and digging deep inside. Make sure you brace your abdominals as well. You don't want to feel any lower back issues. Good. We're going to now flip over to his back here and foam roll his larger lat muscles as well as these erector spinae. So starting at the lower back, he's going to place the foam roller right by his glutes. He's going to lie back just ever so lightly. Your hips should stay on the floor though in the meantime. Okay, good. And what I want you to do, Chuck, is just cross your hands around your chest and just lie back. You don't even have to get your hips up. Just kind of relax your chest back a little bit. Okay, you don't have to go all the way. All right. Now, go ahead and lift up your hips a little and ride up and down that lower back there, okay? You might have to maneuver yourself in a way where it's a kind of a balancing act. So Chuck has his arms crossed. He has the foam roller right under his back here, and he's engaging into his erector spinae. Every so often, he should put his hips down and then relax his spine over top of the foam roller to get a nice stretch in his back here. If you sit down often, okay, go ahead and relax, then you have a little bit of curvature back there. Let's go ahead and bring the foam roller to the middle of the back now. Okay, same thing. You can kind of put your hands on your chest with your feet underneath of you, kind of just relax the spine, even the neck ever so often, all right? And then bringing it back forward there. Go ahead and lift up your hips again, Chuck, and ride up the middle of the back and the upper back. You can also place your arms behind you. So we're going to attempt Chuck to bring his hands back behind his head. Okay? And now, once again, just riding up and down on that back muscle. Continue to breathe. You can get all the way down to your the glute area if you can.
Feeling some pops.
And he's getting some pops while we speak. So that's a little bit of foam rolling. Once again, you have the IT band, the quadriceps, hamstrings, around the pelvis area, specifically the psoas, large lat muscles, your chest, okay? And this is just a small tutorial demonstration of the foam rolling aspects.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, thank you very much.
Good job there, Chuck.